Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the first edition of what I call Off Track Sports. Cory actually came up with the title of Off Track Sports, a good title to a new podcast where me, Cory, and Tyler are just chatting about sports in general, mainly football, a little NBA in there, mainly NFL, some college football thrown in there, maybe some other stuff that's happening around the sports world, and expect us to do this every Tuesday from now until at least the Super Bowl. We'll see how it goes, and maybe we'll do it after the Super Bowl as well, and how we really feel about it up to that point. But for now, we're gonna be talking some football, some basketball, some sports on here, and I am Trackside Larry Lawrence Short, and I am joined, of course, by Cory and Tyler. Cory Wallbanger here today. Cory, how are we doing today?
I'm doing great. The Suns play tonight, so I have something to look forward to.
Yeah, it's a late game for the Suns, isn't it?
Yeah, 9 p.m. I'm sitting here looking at a timer that says the game starts in 3 hours. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, late basketball game. Basketball is a little different. It's like we were talking about it earlier when it comes to NASCAR versus NBA when it comes to these times. And I think it's just mainly because there's so many games when it comes to basketball and it's on the West Coast. They know they're not going to get a lot of nationwide viewers anyways, especially for a game like this, I guess. I'm not exactly sure. I think they should do it a little earlier as well. At least do it like 8 o'clock. Like that game might not finish till
Yep.
after midnight, depending on how it goes. And then we
Yep.
have the Patriots super fan of Tyler, Tyler Rhodes. How are we doing today? You got to be sitting high. You riding the Mayflower or what? Like you guys are just you're back to everybody hating you, I guess.
Life is good. Everybody hates the Patriots and can't beat that.
Yeah, the Pats are just they're scary good. The Patriots are just they're too freaking good, man. They're way good. Who do they play this week anyway? Who they play? Who they play?
God, I don't even know. I think it's the Giants this week. Is it the Giants this week? I know everybody we play for the next 6 weeks is bullshit.
I don't know. It's just been a it's
Gotta
cra-
look it up too.
it's crazy to see how good the Patriots have been this season. They're
Oh, sorry,
fantastic.
Tennessee, which is
Tennessee,
even
oh
worse.
gosh, yeah, they're the worst. Oh my gosh, don't even get me started on the Titans.
Yeah.
The Titans might be the worst team in the NFL. I'd say. Like, would you
Is it the
agree?
Titans or Cincy? Either way,
Jets. You guys beat
either
the
the Titans or
you guys beat the
Cincy.
Jets.
Yeah,
Even fuck worse. See, either way, no matter what we play in the next 6 weeks is just trash. Like it's insane. I mean, you can't blame us for our schedule. We were sucked for the last 3 years, so we deserve to be here. But we're flying through it.
I don't know. It's just crazy. Y'all lose Tom, and then just a couple years later, you get the new Tom. Like Drake May, he's something
Tom cloned
special.
himself. It's okay.
He cloned his dog and he cloned himself. I guess. Like holy crap, Drake freaking May. He's something special. Let me pull up this graphic. I have this graphic made right here. Love it or hate it, the Mayflower is leaving the port. Uh, Drake May is just phenomenal this season, leading the league in completion percentage and in yards, third in touchdowns. And the team stats looking really good on that rush defense, defensive points per game, points allowed. They're killing it. 9-2, leading the AFC East, and I don't know, Tyler, if they're looking back. They're phenomenal. Do you think the Bills can challenge them here? Or you think the Patriots all the way, man?
I mean, the Bills are the only chance of stopping them. That's about it. But other than that, there's not much else in the division to offer. And the Bills are a hit and miss. You never know when Josh is going to show up or not.
Yeah, the last couple of weeks it's been like weird for Josh. Like Josh Allen obviously played fantastic against the Bucks, but he started off that game a little weak. In the couple of games before that, I even tweeted I immediately regretted it because all of a sudden he was rushing. He had like 3 rushing touchdowns. All of a sudden he was running the ball into the end zone. But at the beginning of that game, he had like this weird like shuffle pass, just kind of like did like a basketball pass to the defense, and I was like, all right, this is rookie just Josh Allen. I think I tweeted rookie Josh Allen's playing right now. And then all of a sudden he started playing like normal Josh Allen again, just running through people, making some great plays, some great passes. And he just had a freaking great game. And some people are I don't think he is because he just hasn't really played up to that standard. But some people are trying to put him in the MVP race now, which I don't really get. I think May should. I think May is definitely in the MVP race. I personally would give it to Jonathan Taylor right now, and we'll talk probably more about the MVP race a little later.
Hell yeah!
But I would give it to Jonathan Taylor. I think Jonathan Taylor is just a hell of a guy. But what about Jacoby? Like how about Jacoby?
Oh my god!
How about Jacoby? Is he the future?
For the next 7 games?
For
Yeah.
only the
Tyler's not.
No, I'm kidding. No, but I don't know. It's hard to have hope as a Cardinals fan right now, to be honest. So you're sitting there like he broke an NFL record and no one cares, and no Cardinals fans care because we got our ass kicked.
Yeah.
So how do you brag about a stat? It's like, honestly, it feels a lot like Booker's 70-point game.
I
But
agree.
Booker's 70-point game was insane and awesome, but a lot of the national media doesn't care because we got our ass kicked by the Celtics. This one isn't that impressive, but still, 47 passes completed is ridiculous, and all for nothing.
Smoking Brissett. Yeah, Brissett broke that record. What was it? Most completions or it was most completions in a game, right? That's what it was. Most completions in a game. 47 completions.
Correct.
47 out of
47 of 57.
Freaking nuts. Like, he's obviously going to play the rest of the season. Do the Cardinals draft a quarterback? Are they in the quarterback market? Is that what you're thinking? Or do you think they might go after a veteran? Like, what's going to happen?
I think like 3 things happen. I think we try to trade Kyler. I think he either goes to like the Jets or I don't know.
Don't
Send
say
him
the
to
Steelers.
Cleveland.
Some other teams, the Browns.
No Steelers.
You
Not
know?
the Steelers. We don't want them.
Yeah, the Steelers.
We
The Steelers
don't
him.
want him. We already had Justin Fields. He's pretty much the
Cleveland
same
he
thing.
goes.
No, but I think we're going to try to trade him. I don't think we're going to get a lot of
Cleveland,
value
yeah.
for him. And then probably bring back Brissett, whether we plan him to be the starter or have him be the starter, and then draft one in the 2nd or 3rd round, because I don't think there's any quarterbacks worth the 1st right now. But yeah, I think that's what it is. I think it's a mix of everything. I think Kyler's the best quarterback on the roster. I think most Cardinals fans would too, but it's just run its course. I think we've gotten to that point where it's just run its course. It's better for both sides if he is somewhere else, which sucks to say.
And who knows? Kyler might be one of those quarterbacks we've seen as of late find success in another home, like Sam Darnold, like Indiana Jones. We've seen some of these quarterbacks over the last couple of years find success in other places, getting really a second chance at things. And I've heard Tom Brady comment about it. He doesn't think that a lot of quarterbacks are really being developed properly and are really allowed to develop. They get 1 or 2 years and then they're out. And then college football isn't prepping a lot of these quarterbacks either, which is very unfortunate. So you hate to see that, but who knows?
I completely agree. I think he goes to a team and kills it.
Yeah, I could see him. I don't know, but that's the only problem, because I think the only teams that might get him are pretty much cursed franchises. You got the New York Jets and you got the Cleveland Browns. Name a good quarterback for either of those teams.
A sleeper team that would be smart to do it, especially if McCarthy does not get any better the rest of the year, is depending on Kyler's price, pair him with Justin Jefferson.
But he's 9.
Maybe.
He's 9.
He's never going to be able to see over an O-line.
9.
He's never going to be good.
Don't deny 9.
Hey, Russell Wilson's shorter than him.
9 is the greatest quarterback. Well, he thinks he's the greatest quarterback. I don't know. I haven't seen 9 yet. I don't know where 9 is. What do you think about the 9 thing, Cory? You've seen the whole 9 thing with McCarthy, right?
I actually
where he calls
haven't.
him,
what
where
was
he,
it?
Where he calls himself 9, where that's his nickname, where you call him 9.
Okay. I've heard people talk about it. I didn't realize he called himself 9. That's dumb.
Yeah, that's how he was saying that he like he's talking about his alter ego, and his alter ego is 9. I was like, all right, let's see, let's see how
Well, he
9.
plays like he's 9 so
He's
far.
like he's 9. Oh my gosh, he's not doing well. He's not doing well, and that's a good transition to another quarterback who didn't really do well last week. And I'll give him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, and it looks like he might start actually next week. Shedeur Sanders. I like Shedeur. I think he has a lot of potential. I saw him at Colorado, watched Colorado a bunch last year and the year before, and I think he has a lot of potential to really be something at the next level. I think there's a lot of things attached to him that really hurt him when he came to the draft process. He got drafted really late by the Browns. Definitely struggled in his first start. Made a couple of decent passes, but for the most part, struggled pretty mightily in his first start. But it sounds like he's going to get his another start. Well, not his first start. He came in for an injured Dylan Gabriel who went down with a concussion. Now he's stuck in concussion protocol. So it sounds like Shedeur is probably going to start this weekend against a team that was rumored to draft him, the Raiders. That was probably the biggest team that was rumored to draft him, I would say, throughout the process. Them and the Giants were rumored to draft Shedeur, and neither of them ended up drafting Shedeur. So Shedeur will actually get his first actual start, second game played of the season this weekend against the Raiders. It sounds like not 100% confirmed yet, but one thing that is confirmed, he actually got burglarized during his first game. Someone, or multiple people, not exactly sure, robbed his house of $200,000 at least, that sucks. That's we don't want that, especially the first game playing, and didn't have a good game either. I know Shedeur was very upset at himself with his performance. I heard his press conference, and to have that happen as well on top of it, that sucks. But I am looking forward to him playing this weekend. I'll send it to the Pacecar boys. Like, what do y'all think about Shedeur? Like, Tyler, Cory, what do y'all think about Shedeur?
I think it'd be decent if he goes anywhere else than where he is now. I mean, he's screwed if he stays in Cleveland. He may have a couple flashes here and there, but they're gonna do him just like they did anybody else. It's gonna be no different than Baker or anybody else. So if
Yeah,
he's smart, he somehow convinces Arizona to trade for him or some shit. I don't know.
I also think he was set up for failure too. If you heard about, I don't know if it was an offensive lineman that played with him yesterday or Sunday that said, "I've never heard his cadence before."
yeah,
He was set up for failure. He's a backup. He's a rookie, but never got any. I mean, to be fair, third stringers and second stringers usually don't get snaps for the starters, but to have like zero preparation and to go in there like that, I know sucks because leaves bitter taste in the mouth. And they already announced, I think today, that like, hey, if Gabriel's healthy, he's starting. Like,
yeah. They have
you know
said
what I
that.
mean?
Yeah.
I know there's so many like mixed signals there. Like they drafted him, but it doesn't seem like they want him at all. You know?
Yeah, I think it seems it's like a lot like a Tim Tebow situation for me. Like obviously two completely different personalities, but I remember when Tim Tebow got drafted. Tim Tebow's probably my favorite college non Virginia Tech college football player, and I'll definitely be talking about Virginia Tech a little bit later. But it's probably my favorite non Virginia Tech college football player ever, either him or Manti Te'o. Uh, but when Tim Tebow got drafted, there was a lot of attachments to him because he was just so popular, and the fans really liked him. They knew a lot of the teams knew where no matter where he went, if he wasn't the starting quarterback, fans were gonna really just really bother them and just really kind of boo the team. Like we saw it with the Broncos, we saw it with the Jets, the Patriots. I'm doing a bad job explaining it here, but with Tebow, a lot of people were really just begging these teams to start Tebow, even though Tebow wasn't really a great quarterback, great playmaker, great leader, but wasn't a great pocket passer. And that was also when the league was a little bit different. Maybe in this generation where you see all these running quarterbacks, maybe Tebow would have had a little bit more success. Who knows? But just didn't really have much success at the pro level. But that's why a lot of teams, when lot of teams wouldn't even touch Tim Tebow, and I think that's why a lot of people don't touch Shedeur Sanders, because Shedeur Sanders, there's a lot of attachments to Shedeur Sanders. A lot of people are big fans of Shedeur Sanders, so if he's not starting, a lot of people are going to be upset, and that's kind of how it is with some of these Browns, not even necessarily Browns fans, but Shedeur Sanders fans, I would say. They're pretty loud on the internet. They've been loud on the internet all season long. I've seen the memes. I've seen people make these like AI videos of Dylan Gabriel and all this stuff. So a lot of people want Shedeur to play, and I would like to see him play as well to see how he does. But at the same time, I'm hoping he gets a fair shot, and I don't know if he is going to quite get a fair shot at the end of the day. Because I'm thinking if their performances are somewhat similar, they will go with Dylan Gabriel. First of all, he is the higher draft pick. And second of all, there isn't really any of that other stuff attached to him. So if they're playing very similar, they're going to pick Gabriel, I'm thinking, in the long run. And Shedeur isn't going to get the fair opportunity, I would say, at the end of the day. But if Shedeur blows it out the water and has a great game, I think they're just going to have to, they're going to have to play him. I think they're going to have, I just think they're going to have to play him. But the question is it perfect timing for Shedeur Sanders to have a great game? And I guess we'll have to see. We'll have to see on Sunday. But I guess we'll move on to another rookie quarterback, Jackson Dart. I'm a big fan of Jackson Dart. I have him on my fantasy team, actually. He's kind of saved my fantasy team this year, Tyler. Have you had any like saviors on your fantasy team this year?
No saviors, just horrible, horrible losses.
Damn.
Scattaboo has been sad in my life.
Scat.
I miss you, Scat. Come back.
I lost neighbors, so I feel you. Did you see that I don't think I sent it to the chat, and it's not really something I was planning on really talking about, but did you see that thing with Scattaboo? He was on Raw and got into like a little bit of like a little tussle, and like people were bitching about it, so Scat had to come out and like pretty much tell everybody to shut the fuck up. I'm living my life. Like, I don't know if either of y'all saw that or not.
He's shaking his toe outside of the boot or whatever, and he's like, guys, look, I'm doing good.
Well, I think he did that on like Twitch, but I think it was yesterday. It was on Monday Night Raw, and like a lot of people were talking shit and saying like that he's injured and stuff. He can't be playing, but he's out here on like Monday Night Raw getting into fights and stuff like that. Obviously not real fights, it's Monday Night Raw, but you get what I'm saying. Like he's getting pushed, he's getting shoved around and stuff like that. And I don't know, a lot of people were getting upset with them. So he pretty much made a tweet earlier saying that pretty much I'm like, don't get mad at me for living my life. If you're upset with that, you should just unfollow me.
No, Cam Scattaboo's a badass, dude. I saw that. That was a cool clip.
Yeah.
I forget who he pushed, but like he literally shoved him to the ground. I mean, it's Monday Night Raw, so everything's staged, but he shoved him to the ground, and then it was this whole big thing.
It was JD.
He didn't put himself in harm's way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, let him live. He even said, like, this is my way of coping with it. Like, you know, fuck off. So, I know I'm happy he did that. And I'm happy. He shouldn't have had to say shit, but I'm happy he's, you know, doing his thing, you know?
Yeah, I don't feel like he really should have had to address it either. I think he should have just ignored everybody. And he's been all over the place. Like, Scattaboo is like an international... I wouldn't say international, but he's a big-time national celebrity at this point. Like, everybody knows who Cam Scattaboo is at this point, even if you don't watch football, because he's popping up all over the place. It's crazy. I'm expecting to see him in a bunch of commercials very soon. Like, that's what I'm expecting. Like, this guy is everywhere. He's gonna probably host Saturday Night Live. I bet he's gonna host Saturday Night.
I tried to let him know. I tried to let him know last year. He's a monster. Should have been a second-round pick, but nope.
Yeah, he should have got
first rounder.
Yeah, he should have got drafted earlier, and obviously the Giants saw something in him early because they were all about him. They were like, we're gonna start this guy. Obviously, I don't think Tracy was 100% yet at the beginning of the year, so I'll give them that too. But to start Scat at the beginning of the year, they had a lot of trust in Scattaboo, and yeah, he's great. I hope he comes back 100%. That'd be freaking fantastic. Him and Jackson Dart though. They need a coach, and I got the perfect coach for him. I think it's John Gruden. I think John Gruden should coach the Giants. I really think John Gruden should find his New York state of mind. I really think John Gruden should coach the Giants. I think he's perfect. He's a perfect fit for the Giants. He can deal with the New York media. He's worked for ESPN and Barstool. He was a head coach for so many years. He still wants to get into coaching, back into coaching. He's made it very clear he wants to get back into coaching. And like I said, he can handle the media, and he'd be perfect for Jackson Dart and Cam Scadaboo. Those three together, like, oh my gosh, they would tear the place up. Throw neighbors in there too, like, oh my gosh, that would be awesome. That would be freaking awesome. Like, Tyler, what do you think about Gruden? I freaking love John Gruden. I love him because I don't know anybody that loves football more than John Gruden. I love anytime one of his clips goes viral. It's great. I love that guy.
He's really probably the best coach to go there right now. I mean, he's got a really run focused playbook, so
Yeah.
that's what they really need. He knows how important it'll be to get a good offensive line going and get the run game going, and then they'll thrive from there.
The thing I think I like about Gruden, he's an old fashioned sort of coach. He plays that like hard nosed football, like you're talking about with the O line and the running game. But at the same time, I wouldn't say he's like necessarily a passing call guru, but he's a quarterback like whisperer, quarterback guru. He's really something about him with the quarterback position. He has a real niche for getting the most out of a okay quarterback and just really finding great quarterbacks along the way as well. So I think Gruden would be perfect for the Giants and perfect for Jackson Dart and Jameis Winston too. I forgot about fucking Jameis Winston. Imagine Jameis Winston in the locker room with John Gruden and Jackson Dart and Cam Scadaboo. Oh my, Cory, like what do you think about this? What do you think about Gruden?
I think it'd be a great pairing, a great trio, great quad if freaking Malik Neighbors comes back healthy from that injury. Kind of. That's the only thing that sucks for the Giants. I mean, a lot of things sucks for the Giants, but that's one thing that really hurt the hype around that team, losing Malik Neighbors.
Yeah.
But Gruden would be a match made in heaven there. I could imagine just seeing him, Jackson Dart, and Cam Scadaboo like all being like super hyped and pushing each other. You know what I mean? Like, because that's the type of coach he is. That's the type of players they are. That whole team would be a hype train. I mean, when Jackson and Cam were healthy, it was already starting to be like a hype train. So I don't know. That's a really good shout. I think that'd be cool. I think that'd be fun football and some old school football too.
Like I could see like after a big win, like John Gruden and Scat and Jackson Dart all pushing each other, putting their heads into the wall and everything, and then right behind him you have Jameis Winston like going over a Bible verse or something, just hyping up everybody. Like that's like the team. Like I might become a Giants fan like that ass. They won't never be my favorite team, but I would love to see that. That would be freaking awesome. That would be the matchup. I would love to see that. That would be freaking awesome. That would be so awesome.
John Gruden, Cam Scadaboo, and Jackson Dart hyping the locker room up after a win, and then anytime they lose, Jameis Winston's like, "You guys, we got to stick in it," and then cheering everybody up with his motivational speeches.
I love Jameis. Jameis is awesome. I love that guy. I love that guy. He's great. He's pure entertainment, and whether he's on the field or off the field, it's pure entertainment with Jameis Winston because he has all the crazy quotes and everything. He has the great press conferences and everything. And then when he's on the field, he could either throw you 6 interceptions or 6 touchdowns, or he might do both. He could do both. Like, yep. He's capable of doing both. I love that guy. And I think who I was talking to? I was talking to Cory at work, Tyler, earlier about how Jameis wants to stay. Jameis wants to actually stay with the Giants. He wants to stick around and kind of teach Jackson Dart everything that he could teach him. And he also just likes the area, and he wants to stay with that team because he feels like he can win a Super Bowl with that team as a backup quarterback. He thinks he can do that with that team. So I think that's cool. That's commendable as well. Not a lot of quarterbacks have the guts and the balls to be like, you know what, I'm fine with being a backup quarterback, and I want to be a backup quarterback here. Shots at Russell Wilson, I guess. Russell wanted to get traded, and I don't know. I don't know if Russ still got it. I don't know if Russ still got it. He has a couple of moments here and there, but I don't know. Like Russell, what
I don't know.
Russ has got
I think we
retirement.
all know.
what
I think we all know.
you
I
think
think
Russ is done?
Seattle knew.
You think Russ is done?
I think Seattle knew. Then the Broncos realized it. Then the Steelers realized it. And now the Giants realized. I think the NFL knows. Like, he can't force a trade anywhere because no one wants him.
Damn, that's crazy. That's crazy.
That's how it is right now.
Not even the Browns, Tyler.
Oh, dude, I think. Do you
Not
guys
even
watch
the
the
Browns
fantasy
want him.
footballers?
What's up?
You guys ever watch the fantasy footballers?
Yeah, you've showed me some of their stuff. I don't think I've really watched too much.
They said something that I found hilarious because they're like, I've never seen a player try to play themselves out of the Hall of Fame as much as Russell Wilson is.
That's crazy. That's fucked up. It's crazy.
Dude, how many years in a row is he going to be this bad? Like,
I don't know.
ever since, I mean, he had a bad year or two in Seattle. They traded him, and then, 4 years bad since then? Like, it's sometimes you got to hang it up to save, like, your career, but you also got to chase your dreams. So, I don't know, man. It's like, it's sad to see in a way, and I'm a Cardinals fan, so
Yeah.
I have to hate him.
I don't know. I think Russell Wilson, if he wants to continue his career, and I think he can continue his career and still be a Hall of Famer, but I think if he's going to do that, he has to be prepared and be committed to being a backup quarterback somewhere. And if he's not okay with that, just hang it up. I don't know. I think that's really the best way you can approach it. Like look at Kirk Cousins. Like Kirk Cousins got paid all that money and he had to accept to be a backup quarterback. Now he's going to start this week because Penix is hurt. He hurt his knee, but I think he just needs to accept what he is at this point. It's a backup quarterback. I think if Russell Wilson would accept being a backup quarterback, I think the perfect destination for him would be the Titans to really help out Cam Ward over there. I think he would be perfect over there to be a backup quarterback for Cam Ward. But I don't think he wants that. I don't think he wants to be a backup quarterback. At least that's what I was hearing before the trade deadline. He was trying to get traded to a team to potentially compete for a starting job or be a starter somewhere else, and that didn't happen. And maybe that's why he didn't end up getting the start, and Jameis Winston got the start against the Packers. I don't know. I'm not sure. But let's move on from football for a minute. And let's talk about some NBA. We got the association. We got the league going on. We got the NBA Cup about to continue actually here in a couple of days. But tonight, I haven't checked actually. I don't know if you could check for me real quick, Cory. But actually, no, I'll actually check. But Cory, how is the Suns doing? Like we got a super fan of the Phoenix Suns over here, Cory. How are we feeling about the Suns this year so far? Only a couple weeks into the season.
Ready for a rebound, but I'm excited. I went into this year after the Kevin Durant trade trying to not be hopeful, but like the team dynamic changed. Like we went through the phase of having the super team and realizing we're in a generation where the super team isn't going to work anymore. Because you need 6, 7, 8 really good players, or 7 or 8 players that have a role in an offense, that have an ability that benefits the team as a whole. And when we made that Kevin Durant trade, originally I was like, oh, wow, that's a terrible trade. But then looking into it and seeing the type of players we got, and it was a shift in culture, really. And you can see it because, I mean, started off rough. I think we were down by 20 in like the first 4 games that we played, and now we're up by 20 in like the last 7 or 8 games. And I mean, the Hawks game last week or 2 days ago was painful because I was like on top of the world, thinking we're so good, and then we blew that lead, and I'm like, oh man. bitter taste in the mouth still. I can't wait to watch tonight's game, but I'm excited. It's the basketball formula to win now. I'm not going to say it's a championship winning team, but it's a team that will be competitive, and that's all you can ask for as a fan. Unlike the Cardinals.
The Cardinals, oh my gosh. Like, I have a Kyler Murray jersey in my closet. I got it just in case, like, if I went to a Cardinals game or anything. I did go to a Cardinals game and wore that jersey, so I wanted to have a jersey for that. And now I'm like, damn, I don't know if I'm ever gonna be able to wear that jersey again. That might go up on eBay before the end of the year. I don't know. What was that guy's name that did that flip pretty much and almost died the other night? What was his name?
What's his name? It's like Risher. I'm butchering it. It's something spelled something like that.
I'm glad he's okay.
That was a crazy fall, dude.
That was nuts. That was freaking nuts. That was like a movie sort of fall. Like when somebody falls in like a movie that's like never played basketball or something, like a basketball movie or something. Like that's what would happen in that. And I was like, oh my, he has had way too much speed. He was flying down the court and just, that was wild.
Yeah, that was dangerous. I'm glad he was good, but it's funny because a lot of people talk about Brooks and Booker after that because both of them complained after the game about that because instead of blowing the whistle and the play dead right then and there when it happened, they waited until they got down the court on like a 5-on-4, and then the Hawks went to foul us, and then the refs blew it dead before they fouled us. So we got rid of the 5-on-4 advantage. We got rid of a foul call against them, and then Dylan Brooks got a technical for complaining to the refs about how they called the sequence. And it's like, damn, that him getting hurt actually ended up being like a 5-point swing on top of his like dunk, or a 5-point swing with his dunk. I'm like, dang. Yeah, no.
I haven't ended up sending it to the chat like during that game. Like one thing I like about basketball, like you can clutch the game and choke it and do it like 2 or 3 times over all in the same game, and it's crazy.
Yep.
It's crazy how the runs work in basketball. That's NBA is crazy, especially over the last couple of years with the 3-point shot just becoming as dominant as it is right now. Like a couple of years ago, I'd say, I don't know, 5 to 10 years ago at this point, if you got over 100 points, over 110 points, that was really impressive. And now if you get below 100, 110 points, like you suck. You had a horrible game. Like it's crazy how much.
Yeah, you have a great defense.
It's crazy.
I held him to 110. Dang, your defense is top 5.
I don't know. I prefer the old. I don't know. I like the old way preferred to what it is right now. I don't know. I don't like all the. I mean, I don't mind a lot of 3-point shots, but I think it's just like old 3-point shots. I feel like with some of these games, it's just like 3-point shot after 3-point shot after 3-point shot, and I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I prefer it when it's a little more in the paint, a little more hard nosed. But then the refs call everything too. And also, NBA would be a lot better if the Wizards win games. Like that would make the NBA better. I would say, Cory, wouldn't you say?
The biggest, well, no,
I'm
kidding. But the biggest problem with the NBA is people always like to do the Michael Jordan LeBron debate, and I don't pick a side because it's 2 different generations of officiating. One, it was encouraged to foul. It was encouraged to make them earn it. Now we're in a league where they reward you fake fouling, flopping, and trying to get a whistle. It's rewarded. It's a different NBA. It's not where I think obviously everyone would say it's a faster NBA now. Like all the players are more athletic, but it's a different NBA. You're rewarded for flopping now. It's literally like they keep making the rules tighter and landing in the foul area, landing in the shooter zone, which is a good rule. But I'm saying like it's just different NBA. So like making that argument, I always hate it because it's like it's 2 different generations of officiating, not just 2 generations of basketball.
Yeah, it was a different time. It was a different time, a different era. We can definitely, like, at some point we can definitely do that on this show, is have that LeBron Michael Jordan debate, because I feel like I've always been on the Michael Jordan side of that debate, but over the last like year or two, I'm getting closer to the fence. I'm getting closer and closer to the fence on that one with just LeBron's longevity. But speaking of LeBron, speaking of Bron, and I just checked Shams Charanya's Twitter. I don't really have an update yet on if he's playing or not, but hopefully he's playing. But the goal was for LeBron James to come back to the Lakers tonight, make his season debut. He's been practicing. He hasn't played any games, but he's been practicing with the G League squad, the Lakers G League squad, the South Bay Lakers, and he's came back to the team, and he's playing. He's supposed to be playing tonight. At least that's what the goal was, and what it seemed like was going to happen tonight. I don't think he is in the starting lineup for tonight, but Austin Reeves, Luka Doncic, they've been having a phenomenal season, an amazing season. And especially for Reeves, when Doncic was even out, when it was just Reeves was balling. Reeves was getting over 40 points for a couple of games there. I'm curious on if Bron coming back potentially hurts or helps the Lakers in this situation, because then you're taking away some shots probably from Reeves, from Doncic, and they're just balling. Those two are balling out there right now, Cory. What do you think about Bron coming back?
I haven't found anything like you said that makes it official, but
Yeah.
like 2K says, season 23 starts now. So
Yeah.
I think he is playing. It's just he's
gonna play limited,
like 15 minutes.
Yeah, limited. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a Hall of Famer. It's a legend. I feel like it's gotten to that point where like anytime he's on the court, it's good to see, especially for the sport, because he has 2 years left, maybe 3. So like, I don't know. It's the same with like the Kobe situation, where like his last few years the Lakers sucked, but Kobe was playing, and everyone wanted to see Kobe, and the Lakers tickets were still insane. But LeBron's doing it on a competitive Lakers team where they traded a bag of chips for one of the best players in the NBA and Luka. So
Anthony
I don't know.
Davis is
Hopefully,
more than a bag
when
of
they
chips.
bring him back, I mean, at his age and his injury history, for that player, the trade was a bag of chips.
It's crazy.
It's for Luka. That's why it's a bag of chips.
That's the unibrow.
Yeah, and look what happened. He got hurt.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I wondered how LeBron's going to play this year. One, managing his health, but two, I feel like in order for the Lakers to make a run for a title, LeBron has to change the way he plays in a way, because Luka needs the ball in his hands. It's almost, I don't know. Part of me thinks that LeBron has to play almost of like a Draymond Green type of role, where he's obviously scoring way more and a better scorer. Yeah. But I'm saying like passing and rebounding, priority 1 and 2, and then when they're doubling Luka, okay, now I'm going to go drive and dunk. You know what I mean? It's going to, I know they have the recipe there. It's just making it happen.
I would agree 100%. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting for sure to see how all that is going to end up working with the Lake show. We'll have to see how tonight works. I think Bron's going to just get limited minutes. I think he's going to get maybe, I think you're probably spot on with around 15 minutes. I would lean probably a little bit more, maybe like 17, 18 minutes, something like that. Get some good minutes out there and see how he's able to perform. I think they're playing the Jazz tonight. I think the game is in like an hour, I want to say it's like at 7:30 or 8 or something like that. So we'll have to see if LeBron ends up getting any minutes in that game tonight. But that will let us actually move on to a segment that I will be debuting in this first episode of Off Track Sports. And that is where we ask Grok to essentially predict the future in a segment I like to call Grok Can See the Future. I'm going to ask Grok a question, and it's going to give me an answer. It's going to predict something for us, and what I'm going to predict here is actually going to be, oh gosh, many screens. Oh no. All right, now we're on here. Now we're on Grok. But what I'm gonna ask Grok here is who Grok thinks is gonna be the MVP. Let me type this in right here. So let's see. Grok, who do you think is going to win the NFL MVP this, damn it, let's spell this right. That would help. This year. Question mark. All right, let's see what Grok's going to say here. It's considering the NFL MVP. Let's see who Grok might end up deciding on the NFL MVP. Could it be Jonathan Taylor? Could it be Matthew Stafford? Could it be Drake May and Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes? And we'll have our little discussion amongst ourselves after Grok gives us an idea on who they think should the MVP should be at this point in the season. Looks like Grok's also going to take in some odds here. And it says, based on the current NFL MVP odds and midseason performances through Week 11 of the 2025 NFL season, Grok thinks that Matthew Stafford has emerged as the betting favorite at plus 150. That's what Grok has found. He has thrown an NFL-leading 27 touchdown passes with only 2 interceptions while leading the Rams to an 8-2 record despite some early season challenges. So that is what Grok's opinion is on the subject. And I know for a fact, one of my colleagues here, Tyler, doesn't agree with that. I would say, Tyler, let's get into this NFL MVP discussion. If you had to name an NFL MVP right now, would you agree with Grok and say Matthew Stafford? Would you say Jonathan Taylor, or would you say somebody else?
No, I'd honestly go with Jonathan Taylor. That's going to be the biggest, truest answer over there. I mean, but if not Jonathan Taylor, it's going to be Drake May. Matt Stafford's a wash. Like, that's some lucky games right there. I don't see that being real.
I think the big thing with Stafford, and I think Stafford's had an amazing season, and I think one thing that a lot of people are not taking into account that are putting him as the MVP favorite, because I definitely think he's a contender for MVP, and he's definitely had, I would say this is his best non-Calvin Johnson season. Like, this is his best season that he's ever had where he didn't have Calvin Johnson as a receiver. But I'd say one thing, just like a little note on there, a lot of these teams, when they get close to the goal line, they're doing a running play, a QB sneak. The Eagles do a tush push. What the Rams have been doing when they get really close to the goal line is they're just throwing these like slants and jump balls to Devontae. That's why Devontae has so many touchdowns. I think Devontae Adams has, I want to say 9 touchdowns on the year or 10 touchdowns on the year. And Devontae Adams, a lot of people thought he was washed past his prime. I thought he still had something left, but he's still out there playing really good football, and he's just a threat at the goal line. So I would like to make that little note right there for Stafford. And that in itself is why I personally I think Stafford's definitely a contender for MVP. I would probably put him in the top 3, maybe top 4. I think there's an argument to be made as well. Like at least at the beginning of the year, last couple of weeks, I'd say he had a little bit of a difficult time, but I would like to say that Baker is still an outside shot for that MVP race if he's able to get his act together. He's had a interesting last couple of weeks though, for sure. But I would say Jonathan Taylor too. I think Jonathan Taylor should be the MVP, and I would agree with you, Tyler. I'd probably put Drake May P2 in that discussion, but Jonathan Taylor, I'd say he's having a better season to this point than Saquon last year, just because of the touchdowns. Like, Jonathan Taylor is getting so many touchdowns. I want to say he's averaging almost 2 touchdowns a game right now, which is freaking insane. He's had like 2 or 3, I think he's had 3 touchdown games this season, which is freaking insane. Cory, if you had to pen somebody MVP right now, who are you feeling as NFL MVP?
You know what's funny is when you said the Matthew Stafford name, like from Grok, I was like, hell no. And then I heard the stats, 27-2.
That's amazing.
And their record is 8-2.
Yeah, that's amazing.
The record is 8-2, leading the division. I'm like,
and a tough division.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Other than the Cardinals.
Yeah. when they just beat Seattle too. So, but yeah, I hate to say that Matthew Stafford's in the discussion, but he definitely is.
Yeah,
I would personally like to see Jonathan Taylor win it, not because he's carrying my fantasy team, but because he's carrying my fantasy team. No, I'm kidding, but his stats are great. But yeah, no, I think, in my opinion, it is those three. I think Drake May, it all comes down to the end of the year and how he plays when the schedule gets a little tougher than it is right now, which I know Tyler's going to be like, hey, we can't control that, which I completely agree. But I'm just saying that's the only argument. But Josh Allen's always in the discussion because of the game he had, because the type of games he just had.
Yeah, for
3
sure.
rushing touchdowns and 3 passing touchdowns. That's insane. But I think it has to be those 3 right now. It has to be Stafford, Jonathan Taylor, and then Allen and May. Those, personally for me, I hate how it always has to be quarterbacks.
Yeah, I agree.
So I would want Taylor to win it, then May, then Stafford. But I also think it's kind of hilarious that the Eagles' offense is so bad that they're 8-2 and no one's considering any of them for MVP. I think they're just take advantage of the way they play, and oh man, that defense is insane. I wish the defense could get NFL MVP.
Yeah, that Eagles defense is phenomenal. Yeah, that Eagles offense has been honestly pretty weak all year. Like Saquon, I feel like also the play calling has been a little bit off too. I don't think they've. I feel like they need to feed Saquon the ball a little bit more. They're relying too much on the pass games, but that's also because you have AJ Brown bitching every week too. So you have to give him the ball every week. I hate that guy. That's me personally. I don't like that guy. AJ Brown always upset that he doesn't get enough catches. And then I think he said in the media the other day something about oh no, I'm just looking out for the team. I wasn't. There's no like. And I was like, all right, dude. Like at least stand on business. At least stand on business. Like we know you're upset. You're not getting catches. We all know you're upset. You're not getting catches. But the Eagles' offense has been iffy this year, but that defense is phenomenal. That D line is amazing. The offensive line's amazing too if they're not injured. Lane Johnson, I think, is injured for the next couple of weeks. I want to say, but they're a lot. Both their O line and D line have been the MVPs for that team in particular, I would say. But yeah, just to get back to the MVP conversation, just to finish that off real quick. I think Jonathan Taylor. It's a quarterback award pretty much at this point. We hardly ever see running backs win the award. I want to say AP won it, and that was the last time a running back won it. I remember LaDainian Tomlinson when he won it. LT2. Sean Alexander, I remember when he won it. And I think Jonathan Taylor is currently on path to potentially have the greatest season for a running back in NFL history if he keeps on this path. I don't know if he can. It's kind of a hard path to keep on with getting the amount of yards that he's getting and the amount of touchdowns he's getting every week. It's kind of hard to stay on that path. But also with Daniel Jones playing as well as he is at quarterback, that really takes a little bit away from the run game as well. With the play action and everything, because Daniel Jones has been balling at quarterback too. At the beginning of the season, he was in the MVP race, I would say, at one point as well. But with Jonathan Taylor just doing as well as he is, it kind of overshadows Daniel Jones and what he's doing because he's playing phenomenal. But let me move on real quick to a little college football talk. This is kind of where before we do that, I wanted to do actually, Cory kind of suggested it. We do a bold prediction for the weekend. I don't know who disconnected right there. I think that was Cory. Tyler, can you hear me? What the hell? Something's frozen over here. I guess Discord froze. I guess I'm solo for right now, I guess. Oh my god. Let me check again. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Sorry, people. Give me 1 second. I don't know what is going on here. Can you hear me, Tyler, or no?
Yeah, you got me. I'm coming back right now. Both mine and Corey's computers just crashed.
Oh, what the heck? That's wild.
Okay. Yeah. We're both coming back.
All good. I was getting into my college football talk anyway. I was just curious what was going on. Okay, so all right, let's get into a little bit of college football talk. Tyler and Cory don't watch very much college football. I've gotten way more into college football over the last couple of years because of them introducing the playoff. It's made it more entertaining. Unlike other sports like NASCAR, the playoffs make sense in football, make sense in college football. And the fact that they didn't have playoffs for as long as they did in college football is wild. I definitely was really into college football when I was young. In the young days with right after Michael Vick really started playing quarterback. I remember his younger brother Marcus Vick playing quarterback over at Virginia Tech. And I love Virginia Tech, and that's what I grew up loving, Virginia Tech. So I can't really bury the lead. I was going to kind of save this for almost the end portion of this little college football discussion. But Virginia Tech have been, let's be honest, ass. They've been ass these last 5 to 10 years, complete ass. Like there was a couple of decent years with Logan Thomas, a quarterback, Tyrod Taylor, who's playing quarterback this weekend for the Jets, which is awesome. But there's a couple of decent years in there where we made some bowl games, but we haven't been competitive for the ACC title. Haven't been competitive on a national stage in quite a while, and we got our dream hire. Virginia Tech has hired the dream hire when James Franklin got fired from Penn State. I'm like, that's the guy we need to get, James frickin' Franklin. He's perfect for the program. He's going to be the guy that saves the program. I've been playing Enter Sandman for over 24 hours now. I'm so hyped about us hiring this guy, James Franklin. He kind of brought Penn State back to prominence. Definitely didn't win any big games, and I think that's the big knock on him. He just really struggles in winning the big games, winning the big bowl games. Wasn't super successful in the playoffs last year, and that's always been the big knock on James Franklin, but he always seems to get the job done, has great seasons, and he really brought Penn State back to prominence after Joe Paterno. They hadn't been good for so long, and to bring him back to prominence was pretty phenomenal. Also did really well with Vandy, his all-time record right there at 128 and 60. Just overall has had a really good career as a coach in college football, and for Virginia Tech to bring him on, I think it's a great move. It's the dream hire. I don't expect Virginia Tech to win the ACC championship next year, but I expect us to be a lot more competitive and potentially compete to maybe go to the ACC title game, be in that conversation at least at the end of the year. But this is awesome. I'm hyped as a Virginia Tech fan. They have, like I said, they've been complete ass the last couple of years, and to have them potentially be, and it's not a guarantee. I understand James Franklin isn't a guarantee, but James Franklin had a lot of success at Vandy. He's had a lot of success at Penn State. Obviously, this year didn't start off that strong for Penn State. Didn't have a very good start of the year, and then when they lost to Northwestern earlier in the year, Penn State were like, "Yep, you can't lose to Northwestern. You're out." And this has probably been the best year that Northwestern's having in a while as well. Just a little side note, but for us to get James Franklin, I'm hyped. As a Virginia Tech fan, we got him. We got our guy. A couple of little notes from the past weekend. We had some big games from this past weekend. Of course, Oklahoma and Bama. Oklahoma was able to defeat Alabama in what I would consider a pretty big upset. I don't think a lot of people would say it was a very big upset, but I really did not expect Oklahoma to show up in that game like they did. They had a fantastic game, and Bama's quarterback, Ty Simpson, who I consider one of the Heisman hopefuls, one of the Heisman favorites right now, probably had his worst game all year against Oklahoma against the Sooners, and Oklahoma was able to take him down in that one. Georgia beat the brakes off of the Longhorns over the weekend, which was unfortunate to see. Arch Manning, of course, the nephew of Peyton and Eli Manning, Cooper Manning's boy. He didn't have a good game. He had a completely awful game. I remember one of the passes, he almost took off Georgia's head coach's head, Kirby Smart, like beamed it to the sideline, almost took off Kirby Smart's head. And I'm a big fan of Arch, and I'm pretty sure he's going to come back next year. I don't think he's going to go into the NFL draft. He's definitely not ready for the NFL, and I'm hoping he's able to figure it out. He had a lot of pressure going on to him this year. So I'm hoping for next year, because I don't think Texas is going to make the playoffs at this point. I think they're done when it comes to the playoffs. They might get into a decent bowl game or something like that. So, but looking ahead to next year for Texas, real quickly, now that Arch is not going to have all that pressure on him going into next year, because everybody saw his performance this year, and he's had some really good games, but he's also had some really bad games this year. Everybody already had him penned as the number one pick, as the Heisman Trophy winner, and he has not lived up to that as well. Lenora Sellers over at South Carolina has kind of had the same deal with him, and they're both going to come back next year. And speaking of South Carolina, we'll get to South Carolina in a second, but South Carolina choked the hell out of that game. They did. They choked the hell out of that game. But we'll get to the other big time school in South Carolina, and I'm not a fan of these guys, but they pulled off a big upset, and that's the Clemson Tigers. And Dabo, they were able to upset Louisville on Friday night, able to upset Louisville, who were competing for the ACC championship. Looked like they had a good shot. They were ranked 20. They were able to upset them, and Clemson have turned it around the last couple of weeks. Maybe they're able to head into next season with a better year. They still have the potential of going to a bowl game this year, Clemson. So I think that's really the goal for Clemson this year, is to go to a bowl game. So we'll have to see if they're able to do that. And then Virginia Tech, actually, my team, I have to talk about Virginia Tech real quick. Virginia Tech lost by 20 to Florida State, but we play another Florida team this weekend, which I'll talk about in a second, because we do have another segment coming up here in a second where I'll actually talk a little bit more about that. But Virginia Tech just continue to have a horrible year. Horrible year. The worst year I've seen Virginia Tech probably have ever had. It's been just a horrible year for Virginia Tech. Horrible year for Virginia Tech. But now we'll get to South Carolina. South Carolina completely dominated the first half against Texas A&M. And I personally consider Texas A&M going into the weekend, other than maybe Ohio State, as the best team in the country. They're ranked 3. I personally think they should have been above Indiana. I think Indiana should have been 3. But Texas A&M have had an amazing season. Their quarterback, Marcel Reed, has had a fantastic season as well. He's considered one of the Heisman favorites as well. And South Carolina had them. They had it. They're up 30 to 3. And they're up 30 to 3 at halftime, and they completely choked away that victory. Marcel Reed looked like freaking Tom Brady in the second half of that thing, with just a phenomenal second half. I got the stats pulled up right here. In the first half, he went 7 for 20. In the second half, he went 15 for 19. Just two completely different halves when it comes to his completion percentage. He had 0 touchdowns in the first half, had 3 in the second half, 2 interceptions and 2 sacks in the first half, had 0 of both of those in the second half. Just a phenomenal second half from Marcel Reed, and he also fumbled the ball in the first half, which got returned for a defensive touchdown, and just carried this team back. Marcel Reed carried this team back with a phenomenal offensive performance in this game, and I think the tides really turned when that A&M cop bumped into those I said Texas Tech earlier for some reason, but bumped into those South Carolina players running down the tunnel. That's when everything turned. He got thrown out of the game, but I would argue for Texas A&M, you maybe should give that cop a game ball, because that's when everything turned. That's when the tides turned, was pretty much after that. It was 27 to 3 when that happened. South Carolina were able to get a field goal before half, and then from that point forward, it was just straight belt to ass for Texas A&M, able to get that clutch victory. And I'll send it to the Pacecar boys for a second here. I know the Pacecar boys don't really watch much college football, but how impressive is a comeback like that? I guess I'll start with Tyler, because Tyler knows everything about great comebacks and just greatness at the quarterback position, because he had Tom Brady as his quarterback for so long. But how impressive is a comeback like that? Like, that's on that Falcons-Patriots Super Bowl level.
Man, it's impressive as hell. You got to stay in the game. 90% of teams give up even when they're 2 points or 3 points behind, let alone that much. So, I mean, if you got the heart to stick it out, there's a chance. There's always a chance.
And it was just an impressive performance from Marcel Reed, and then the Texas A&M defense was able to turn it on in that second half and keep their perfect season. Texas A&M are still undefeated, still lead the best conference in college football, in my opinion, in the SEC. Still leads the conference, ranked number 3 in the country at the moment, and the playoff rankings, the new college football playoff rankings, should be coming out any minute now. I know the special is going on right now, but Cory, what do you think about that? Just like impressive comeback. I know you're not a big avid college football guy or anything. I know you watch ASU if they're doing really well or something, but how impressive is a comeback like that? Down 30-3, they win 31-30.
It's insane. I mean, it was 2 total different halves of football. Like, one team showed up in the first half, one team showed up in the second half, and it was just it was pure entertainment, by the way, because I ended up watching like the whole highlights of it,
Yeah.
and you thought it was going to be an ass whooping, but like that's the whole thing. Like Tyler said, is like not giving up, because I know being a fan of shitty football for so long, I know when you're down by a touchdown, usually you give up, but the seeing a team come back from 30-3, that's insane. Like, we'll be lucky to see a game like that competitive, like, with a number 10 team being down that far again this year. Like, that's some crazy shit. You don't ever see that happen. So that was kind of a cool highlight to watch.
Yeah, it was an insane game. One of the craziest games all year, and South Carolina have struggled this year. And they were expected to have a really good year with the young quarterback Lenora Sellers, and they've had a difficult year. They've lost a lot of close games. They've had some difficult calls called against them by the referees this season as well that have been noted. But I personally thought A&M was going to wipe the floor with them going into that game. And I forget which game I was watching at the time. I want to say it was Bama and Oklahoma. It might have been a different game. I think it was Bama and Oklahoma I was watching at the time, and I just saw on the bottom ticker that South Carolina were up like 20-3, and I was like, "What the hell is going on over there?" But the Gamecocks ended up choking on it, so that's what happened over there. That's just unfortunate for South Carolina and the Gamecocks fans. I know that Brett Griffin, who's big in the NASCAR community, always tweets about South Carolina football. He was very upset. He was not happy. He was very upset. Brett Griffin was not happy. He was very, very, very upset. But all right, let's move on to what was I going to move on to actually? Let's move on to the should we do the viral clip? Yeah, we'll do the viral clips. We'll do the prediction. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we were gonna do. The bold prediction. This is actually something that Cory actually suggested, and I think it's a cool little suggestion, kind of making your bold prediction pick of the weekend when it comes to sports. It could be a certain team winning. It could be maybe a certain player having like an amazing game that you wouldn't expect, or something like that. And I'll actually start it to give Cory and Tyler maybe a little bit more time to maybe figure out a bold prediction that they can come up with for the weekend. But my bold prediction is actually going to be college football, just because we're already talking about college football. It has to be college football. Virginia Tech has made the amazing hire of James Franklin. I think the press conference and the introduction for James Franklin will actually be tomorrow, from what I've heard. I'm not 100% on that, but that's what I've read and what I've heard. That his introduction as the Virginia Tech football head coach will be tomorrow. Virginia Tech play Miami this weekend at Lane Stadium. They'll have the Enter Sandman introduction. I would assume that James Franklin, the coach for next year, would be in attendance for that game. The Miami, ranked 15th in the country, are right now primed. They're probably, like, when the playoff bracket prediction comes out for today, the rankings come out for today, Miami will probably be in that playoff bracket. And my prediction is Virginia Tech upsets Miami this weekend and takes them out of that playoff bracket. It's been a great week for Virginia Tech, and we're looking ahead to the future over at Virginia Tech. And Virginia Tech needs their get-back game. Virginia Tech had the game in the bag last year, got screwed with the call late by the referees on a catch in the end zone, and that's my bold prediction. My bold prediction is for the Virginia Tech Hokies get their 4th win on the year. They would go forward, and they would be 4-6 at that point. Get their 4th win of the year this weekend against the U Miami this weekend. All right, I guess I'll send it over to Cory. Cory, do you have a bold prediction that you thought of for this weekend?
I guess my homer's coming out a little bit. Not really.
Oh gosh.
My bold prediction is that the Jaguars, who manhandled the Chargers, take that momentum and absolutely lose control of it and play like dog crap against the Cardinals on Sunday. And somehow, some way, the Cardinals pull off a win, even though it seems impossible. I feel like the Jaguars are going to shoot themselves in the foot so many times that the Cardinals pull it off and pull off an upset.
Like, the Jags are one of those teams that kind of just play down to everybody's level. Like, it's them. And then this year, the Bills have been doing that too. And then the Chiefs have kind of done that over the last couple of years. And then this year, it's biting them in the ass. The last couple of years, it hasn't. But this year, it's biting the Chiefs in the ass. Like, they're one of those teams that plays down to everybody's level. That's why I'm enjoying the Colts. The Colts are just out there with just straight belt to ass all the time. Like, there's just belt to ass just all the time. I love that. The Lions the same way. Bears are trying to do that too. Bears have been clutch though. Bears have been clutching the crap out of it. But yeah, I could see that. And Jacoby Brissett slinging it around. He's been playing well. Tyler,
he might have to get 48 completions.
He might have to get 48 completions. That is definitely a possibility. But Tyler, do you have any bold predictions for the weekend?
My bold prediction is that the Texans send the Bills season further into despair.
Oh, damn. I could see that. I could definitely see that. I was just saying that the Bills they've been playing down to everybody's level. And the Texans, no joke, might have the best defense in the league. It's just their offense are just booty cheeks. Their offense is just complete ass. Like, CJ Stroud has not had a good year. He's been injured the last couple of weeks with the concussion. It sounds like he's out on Thursday as well. He's not going to play on Thursday. Mills has been playing pretty well, actually, at the quarterback position over the last couple of weeks. The running back position has been up in the air. It's been Woody Marks one week. It's Nick Chubb one week. I know that because one week on my fantasy team I had Nick Chubb, and then I played Woody Marks. Then they're playing Nick Chubb. I don't know who the starting running back is for the Texans right now. I think it's Woody Marks right now, but that's been kind of a fight at the running back position as well, for sure. So, but I could see the Texans winning it. I could definitely see the Texans winning it with that fantastic defense, and then Bills just playing down to everybody's level. And then I'm going to give a little bonus one. I'm not going to, I kind of want to predict it, but it might bite me in the ass. But I don't know. The Jets playing Tyrod might be a little bit of a change up. The Ravens haven't had that great of a season. Tyrod played a lot of his career, most of his career with the Ravens as a backup to Joe Flacco over there in Baltimore. I don't know. Maybe Tyrod Taylor takes the Jets with the win over the Ravens in Baltimore. I'm just throwing that out there. That could happen. I could see it. I could definitely see it with Tyrod. Tyrod's very underestimated quarterback. But that will actually do it for this week's edition of Off Track Sports, the first edition of Off Track Sports, where the Pacecar boys, that being myself and Cory and Tyler, will be talking about non-motorsports sports. We're motorsports, especially NASCAR super fans, and every week we'll be talking about sports, primarily NFL football. I'll have my college football conversation. Cory and I will have a little bit of NBA chatter here and there, but primarily talk about the NFL, at least for now. And like I said at the beginning of this show will go on to at least the week after the Super Bowl, and we'll see what happens after that. Maybe we'll continue it past the Super Bowl. Maybe this will be a show that only happens during football season or something like that. Not sure yet. just trying to figure out what we want to do with this. But let us know in the comments whether you're watching on X or you're watching on YouTube if you enjoyed this show. Like I said, first show, so we're really trying to figure it out and figure out how it's all going to work. But yeah, I appreciate anybody who tuned in to this week's episode. Oh, Joey Logano, I'm looking at it.
Look at my damn screen.
Oh, I got to pull up Tyler.
Oh my God, bro.
Yeah, I saw that. So some of
Look
you.
at what I responded with.
Brother.
It's Smoking Joe. It's Smoking Joe.
Oh, he deserves that.
It's
Maz!
Joey Logano. It's freaking it's Joey. It's Joey Sins. It's Joey Sins. Joey Logano.
I'm living with that now.
It's Joey Logano or Johnny Sins. I can't tell. I can't tell the difference. He looks good like that. I'd rather have him do that. I think he looks good like that. Rather that than the fake hair.
Joey Sins by so many fans the next year, dude.
He looks tough. Like Joey Logano's never looked tough until now. That's the first time I could tell. Like Joey Logano, anytime before that, I'd be like, yeah.
Oh.
Anytime before that, I'll walk up and punch Joey Logano in the face. That Joey Logano, I ain't fucking with that Joey Logano. That Joey Logano gonna beat my ass.
With 2 Fs.
He's gonna beat my ass. That Joey Logano. That Joey Logano is a badass. That's Mr. Clean Joey Logano. Like that motherfucker's about to.
No.
He's about to do some wild shit. I'm scared. I'm gonna have nightmares about that Joey Logano. That's hilarious. But that will do it for this week's edition of Off Track Sports, and we'll be back next week. Yeah, let us know in the comments whether you're watching on YouTube, X. I don't know if you can leave comments on Spotify, but this is also going to be on Spotify. But if you can leave a comment there, or I know you can leave a review on Spotify, so leave a review. That would be fantastic. But we appreciate you joining in, and for Tyler and for Cory, I'm Trackside Larry, and we'll see you next week. We'll see you now. We'll also be on tomorrow for Hit the Pacecar. We're doing that bi-weekly right now, so we'll be on for that tomorrow. And yeah, we'll see you next week for Off Track Sports. I appreciate everybody tuning in. And like I said, let us know what you thought of the first show and what we should change. What maybe segments we should do or stuff like that. It's just kind of a free conversation. So let us know in the comments. All right. Bye-bye.